Hopefully, everyone is having a good day. All three major indices are up again today. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you were to look at my watch list, most of my watch list was in the red, right? So, what does that mean? Well, it means that it's a risk off situation here. And what does that mean? That there's high quality names being bought up, right? No one wants to be in, cheaper stocks. Everyone wants to be in the Apples, the Googles, the Teslas, and things like that right now because they're a little concerned with the overall market. Now, it could get a little bit dangerous because typically when you have that risk off kind of trade, if those trades start getting crowded, like those Apple trades and the Tesla trades, things like that, there's not going to be many buyers left. And you'll see this whole market turn around, and it'll bring not only the market, the overall indices down, but the rest of the market as well. Okay, so with that said, let's go right into one of the stocks that we did highlight or have been highlighting the whole week, and that's Plug Power, PLUG. So just like with the rest of the Russell and the smaller indices names, Plug had a pretty bad day, right? It was down 5.4%, but it doesn't surprise me. It didn't have any volume. It didn't have any news, and I really think this stock is going to be a news-driven stock. What does that mean? Unless there's news on this stock, there's a probability that this is going to just drift lower, right? Even if we put a trend line right here, where first that initial breakout, we're starting to break below this trend line. So right now it seems like everybody's going to want to start selling the rips, right? So it might pop and then it'll just drift lower. But you know what? There's going to be a point where this stock will bounce at some point. My guess is right down here at the value, at the point of control. So watch that level right there and that $11.30 range, and we'll probably see a pop when it gets to that price. Now, again, you have to remember that point of control does keep changing as days go on, right? Because it's a dynamic chart. As more volume churns and gets, traders get in and out of their shares, this point of control will either move up or down depending on the price action of the stock. So remember that. So we are going to be highlighting the stock. I will do the work for you. So if you are interested, I'll let you know when there's a good chance to buy PLUG. Okay, now we're going to highlight quickly the three names that we said looked decent going in for yesterday, but they were, except for one, they were all no plays, right? And the first one was GMBL. All right, let's bring up GMBL. And I really got hurt on GMBL because here we go. So yesterday I got in on some news-driven event right here, and I thought it was going to get above the value area high, and it looked decent. It closed up there too, near that value area high. But then that first 30-minute candle just shook me out. I got out down here at the 570 range, and I am out of GMBL with a 45-cent loss. That one hurt because it just everything looked like it was setting up, but everything else it didn't work. And sometimes that's how trading is, right? I just wish I wouldn't have lost that much in one stock, but it happens. Trust me. Okay, so GMBL is off our watch list. The next one that we had talked about was PBYI, Puma Biotech. PBYI. Now let's bring that up on a chart. Now, PBYI was another one that was right there above the value area high. It looked really good, and then even this morning when it opened a little flat. I was hoping that it wasn't. It did make this little candle right here, and I was watching it, and it held for the first 2 hours, and then bam, it just sold off. Right now, I did get stopped out of the stock. I was in it at 11.97. I got stopped out at 11.90. Okay, and so I took a small loss, but it's still on my watch list. If it goes back above 11.98, I will be back in. Remember, I'm trying to keep my losses to a minimum and then ride those higher once they start breaking out of this range, and that's PBYI. All right, so the one stock that did look good today was SMAR. It looked decent, right? It looked okay. It did take out that first 30-minute candle. Unfortunately, I did not get into the stock. I was trying to manage some other positions that I have, and I kind of lost track of it. It did close below the that first 30-minute candle, so I don't feel like I missed out on any run. So on Monday, rather, I am going to look at this value area high, watch that first 30-minute candle, and then be more diligent on getting in into the stock if it sets up nicely. Okay, so that was SMAR. We're going to run down quickly the stocks that we own. The first one's AQST. AQST had a bad day today. It's been on a monster run, so this pullback is understandable. We're going to take a look at the daily with the 513 EMA chart. Okay, so the first natural place where it's going to bounce is right here at the 5 EMA. So it's a little closer down. So if you haven't gotten into the stock, this would be my target, the low eights, right? Maybe 810, 805, right in that area. If you missed this whole run, I think it'll bounce from there. But if it doesn't, make sure you have a little more money so that you can cost average down all the way down into this area if it were to happen. Okay, so that's AQST, still long on AQST. The second stock that did not perform very well, but I did add to my position today, was OVID. I'm going to bring this on the intraday. Well, let's take a look at that daily real quick, right? It did touch this 13 EMA, so this was a natural place for this to bounce. So we have this as a support right here, which is good. And then I want to show you something else right here, right? We have the point of control right here, which is also a line of support right here. So watch this on Monday. If on Monday it takes out this low today, on Monday, I will be out of the stock and take my losses on that. Okay, I'm in at 768. I was able to get more shares at 768. So again, I'm going to watch that stock, watch the price action on Monday, and hopefully we can bounce from here and go higher into this new value area that's being generated right here, and hopefully retest that 825 and then that 837. That's key. Okay, that's OVID. FLGT, we got in a few days ago. We had a monster day on FLGT, and now it's obviously pulled back a little bit. It's down about 5%, but that's okay, right? We have a really good trade location right down here at 45.23. So, just watch this closely. I'm not going to let this one be another ADS and take all my profits. I will watch that first 30-minute candle on Monday, and hopefully we continue this trend higher. That's FLGT. Now, the one stock that did perform really well was, not really well, but it performed well today, was CVM, the way we had hoped and expected. So here was that first 30-minute candle, right? It didn't take out a lower low, and it continued going higher into the close. It did close above this point of control, right by here, by this value area high of 1289. I did say that would be my target. Now, what to do on Monday? Watch that first 30-minute. Let's hope that it takes out this value area high and continues to go higher. If that's the case, we could see a nice 10% pop on this onto this stock. So watch that closely on Monday. If you didn't get in, maybe a nice first 30-minute candle, you'll start seeing some shorts covering and sending this stock higher. Now, guys, I am going to come back on Sunday night and give you 3 of my picks going into Monday. We're going to cut this short for tonight. Well, I hope everyone has a great weekend. And please, if you like this show, subscribe to it, tell your friends about it, and again, always trade smart and be safe.